Alright crew, let's talk about the backward roll. This is the one that causes a lot of confusion, and you wake up the next day feeling like you got hit by a car because you go into this really hyperextended position, and we want to try to get that out of the way and make sense of it and how we can actually do it without hurting ourselves and apply it to other things. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to just get that same setup we were talking about for a forward roll, for a handstand. Feet together, arms up, same basic stuff. Here we're going to be rolling backwards, so we're going to use our candlestick drills, which are squat down, arms glued to my ears, send my hips up, back to stand. That candlestick drill is key to feel comfortable rolling back, maintaining that hollow body position, and feeling comfortable rolling onto my shoulders without my head slamming into the ground. As soon as my head slams into the ground, I'm not going to want to do it again, and it completely sucks. So it becomes epic fail, okay? So let's think about this. As I do my candlestick, I want to try to keep my chin in a little bit more than I would think. Shoulders to the ground, arms behind my ears. The arms behind my ears is going to protect my neck a little bit, and it's going to get me into a stronger position. Now this, we have to take into a backward roll. So in order to do that, we're going to have to change this arm straight position into a arm flex position, where my hand in a flat position meets the ground. So this is what I'm talking about. Arms are up, big setup, roll, hands down. Same thing, hand, stand. What's happening there is now my hands, if they're fast enough, my elbows are fast enough, I'm able to get my hands down and save my head. This is where problems are caused. If I don't have the mobility in the shoulder to get that elbow up and get my shoulder into position, get my hand flat on the ground, I'm not going to be able to save my head, and I'm going to have to roll over my neck, and that's when problems happen and we feel really uncomfortable and unsafe. So that's something to practice. If you can't do a candlestick roll with your hands on the ground, elbows up, don't move on to the backward roll. Work on that, mobilize that area, make it happen, and feel like you have some kind of leverage. If you got that, now we can move on to the next step. Next step is getting our hips and feet over our head. The way we're going to do that is, instead of keeping our body straight in a hollow body position, we're going to get into a tuck where we're bending our legs, flexing the hips as much as we can, and that's going to make us a little smaller and a little bit more efficient at rolling, and we'll be able to get that little press through that will take us to our feet. So what I'm talking about here is I'm going to do the same candlestick, but with my legs a little bit more bent. I roll back, candle, bent legs. Candle, bent legs. So pretty simple. If I get that going and I feel comfortable with that, now I'm going to let the hips travel over my head, and I'm going to shoot my feet back behind me so they go back and down into the ground. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to be my backward roll. Back and down. You'll notice that my arms were slightly active, not very, but enough to save my head from hitting the ground. If I don't push away and I don't have an active shoulder, I'm going to immediately collapse. This is kind of a hard skill to get at first if you never practice it, so we have some tools that we can use, so stay tuned.